Happy 93rd video and happy Indigenous Peoples Day. So more on that to come, but I wanted to say I haven't been recording videos lately because I have a cold, and I completely forgot about the fact that I have a tradition of posting at least one video that's a singing with a cold hashtag, which is actually not a hashtag I see a lot of people using. Maybe because people realize they don't sound their best when they have a cold, but I am just weird like that. So I have sung some songs with colds that I thought just sounded good, like CeeLo's Forget You. I think I posted earlier this year, the last time I had a cold, because I feel like that it just really embodies that nasally quality of the bridge. But this time I was struggling to figure out what to sing. So I settled on Peggy Lee's Fever. It's a song I've always really liked, and I feel like some colds, not this one, thankfully for me, but some colds have fevers, so I thought, well, that's apt. And I also thought, given that it's Indigenous Peoples Day, I could speak to, there's definitely a whole verse in Fever about Pocahontas, and I am not going to sing that, actually. I'm going to edit that part out and sing the other verses. And I know it was written in 1958, the song, and so I think their understanding of history was probably not accurate in any way. Well, I can't say in any way, but I think that the Disney movie Pocahontas, though, that came out in the 90s, and I was a kid at the time, but even me as a kid thought, well, this is bullcrap, because I felt like Disney had a way of taking fairy tales and fictional stories and completely taking it a different direction and telling the story, like losing the plot basically. But you know, it was fiction, so what you gonna do? Sometimes you can improve on fiction. But with Pocahontas, it's history, and you're presenting it to kids. And so, I mean, I wasn't fooled as a kid, but I still felt like it was a very poor representation, because I knew enough about Pocahontas that I thought that there's no way this was a consensual love affair, and like it's not. No. These days I'm really into a TV show called Adam Ruins Everything, and I'll probably post a comment to one of his videos in the description and in the comments, because he does a really good video talking about Pocahontas and a few like fact check things. Pocahontas was 10 years old at the time when John Smith came over, so there was no romance at all between them. There was no, it was a child, it was an adult, big flea, nothing romantic happened. But that didn't stop pervy old John Smith from later on in his days writing a salacious tale where he was talking about how all the women in Pocahontas' tribe, including her, couldn't resist him. Oh, he was just so hot and steamy, they couldn't resist him. And, you know, he told Pocahontas as if she was much older, and, you know, and that they had had a romance, which totally didn't happen. And so he sold a lot of books, and people kind of accepted that what he was saying about history was real, and it wasn't. So I figure today being Indigenous Peoples Day, in Seattle, it's been declared that for 5 years. As of this year, there are 5 states and Washington, D.C. that have adopted this as Indigenous Peoples Day instead of having it be Columbus Day, because Christopher Columbus was a genocidal idiot. So we really shouldn't be celebrating that guy, because he killed a lot of people, and he also did not understand anything about geography, which we've known about for a very long time. So I figured if I sang Fever, it would be great because I have a cold, and also great because I'm just going to do it a version that does not mention Pocahontas, because it's all not true. But also, I mean, it's a great song otherwise. Like, the rest of the lyrics are really well written, so I just feel like, let's just take out the part that sucks. That's what you do, right? feel like someone out there is going to be commenting and saying, "You ruined a song." It's like, don't worry, I'm singing most of the song, just not that one part. All right, here we go. Never know how much I love you. Never know how much I care. When you put your arms around me, I get a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning and fever all through the night. Sun lights up the daytime, moon lights up the night. I light up when you call my name, and you know I'm gonna treat you right. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning, a fever all through the night. Everybody's got the fever, that is something you all know. Fever isn't such a new scene, fever started long ago. Key change. Woo. Romeo loved Juliet. Juliet, she felt the same. When he put his arms around her, he said, "Julie, baby, you're my flame. You give it fever. When we kiss it, fever with thy flaming youth. Fever! I'm a fire. Fever, yeah, I burn forsooth." Another key change. Now you've listened to my story. Here's the point that I have made. Chicks were born to give you fever. Be it Fahrenheit or centigrade, we give you fever. When we kiss you, fever if you live and learn. Fever till you sizzle, but what a lovely way to burn.